Welcome back to the My Nintendo Podcast. This is episode 3. Yeah! Gourmet Race Dubstep Remix. Go! Go! Oh yeah! Let's do it! Let's go! Oh. Dude, I got addicted to this song once and kept listening to it over and over again. I begged my Discord to please make me stop listening to Gourmet Race. And I think the addiction is back. Here we go! Oh yeah! Mike Will, My Nintendo Podcast. This is episode 3, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good day out there. Glad to have everybody. You know, it is, you have a lot of choices, in your various, podcasts and things. Hold on, I gotta turn this off. I can hear it, you guys can't. Hold on, it's like blaring. Okay, whew, I love that song, but has to go, guys. Alright, anyway, so here we are. We are back, the My Nintendo Podcast, episode 3 again. It's not just about My Nintendo, it's about everything. How are you guys doing out there, in podcast land? I do have a big announcement. We are now on Spotify and iTunes. I don't know if it's searchable yet. To be honest, I've been really busy this week and haven't checked to see if it's searchable, but presumably it's searchable. I guess I could just check from my phone, huh? Let's see if it's in Apple Podcasts yet. The last time I checked, it was not there. Let's take a quick look. The My Nintendo Podcast is still not up here yet. I have a feeling that it takes 6 to 8 weeks or some crazy thing like that. There will be a link in the description for the direct Spotify Anchor FM link. So I don't know how long it's going to take for that. I don't think it's in Spotify yet either. It's on Anchor, but that's where you set it up, so it's not quite the same thing. It's not searchable on Spotify, meaning it hasn't been, what was my buddy Anton G saying? It hasn't been crawled or whatnot, you know. So they just haven't found it yet. But you got to think about all the different podcasts that... Hold on, I'm seeing if this somehow got onto Spotify. I really don't think it happened, though, guys. Not yet. But we will continue to upload these episodes until somebody puts it there. So that's first episode of business. First order of business out of the way now. Let me look at my agenda here and see what the next topic is. But we are looking at... Okay, the Hogwarts... Oh, folders, guys, folders. So, I wanted to talk about folders. I think this is folders. Yes, folders are here now, guys. So, this was announced, and I did do a video, and obviously everybody pretty much knows what these are. I'm not going to go into too much with it, honestly. You guys know what folders are. But what I wanted to say is, it's sort of indicative of Nintendo starting to take their online serious. Now you go, well, it doesn't have anything to do with Switch Online. It's not an online feature, but I think all of the not all of the complaining, but everybody making a lot of fuss about the pricing of Nintendo Switch's online service. I think has triggered some internal communication of Nintendo with outside opinions. And I think part of this is folders. They didn't just... I don't think they were listening. I think the last 5 years when we were asking for folders and themes, they were not listening. They just said, hey, well, we said we were giving you guys Nintendo games. We're giving you guys Super Nintendo games. Aren't you happy with that? Isn't that all you want? A bunch of games? You don't want other things like folders and themes? Well, of course we want those things, but the issue is that Nintendo doles out those things sort of at its discretion. The 3DS didn't get themes until, over 4 years into its life. So Nintendo just sort of does things at their own speed. I'm sure they would cite stability, increasing stability, rah, or performance increasing or something. So just something to keep in mind there. Folders are out. I really want to do a video where I put all of my stuff into folders because I have so much stuff. I don't even have a memory card big enough to hold all my Switch games. Like, I've got such a huge Switch digital library that I would love to put them in folders and be able to really go, hey, I've got all these indie games and all these RPGs. So I think I will be doing a video in the future about that. I think that would be really awesome. So folders are here, guys. If you haven't seen, I did a short. There's a bunch of YouTubers that have videos, though, if you need details. I didn't cover it in detail, but it's pretty simple. Now, next up, I did want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I did a short earlier in the week that did not, well, it did not do that good. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think this is Hogwarts. Let's hope. Yeah. So, there was talk of this game, and it seems like the people that I've broached the subject with don't like the Harry Potter universe. So, I guess what I want to bring up here is this game looks solid. So, is it just such a visceral reaction to the Harry Potter universe that you don't even want to say that you would consider trying it? Because most people I've talked to just aren't interested, and that's fine. Obviously it's not going to be, it's not going to be for everybody. But the point is, and I wanted to show this a little bit of this trailer just so you guys could see. I wanted to show this off so you guys could see what I'm talking about. I'll give it a little gas here on the audio as well, but so you guys can actually see what they have come up with for this game. Because I really think, guys, that this is awesome. I mean, if you look at the graphics, they're starting to look more next gen. They show a lot of in-game stuff here that looks phenomenal. And just, I don't think enough people are talking about this. And is it Harry Potter burnout? Is it Harry Potter phobia? Is it Harry Potter's for kids? I don't know what it is. Because, Pokemon doesn't have that problem. There's still plenty of hype for a new Pokemon product. The same thing happened with the Hogwarts mobile game. It wasn't as big as Pokemon, so I don't think Harry Potter carries the weight that they wished it did, and I think this game might flop, actually, because of it. And yes, all I have is these anecdotal stories of talking to friends about it or people online that are saying, hey, I'm not interested in this. It doesn't appeal to me. But I'm like, I really think it looks cool. And it's like, but other people aren't. And it's like, it's that open world action RPG elements that people crave. It's in Skyrim. It's in Elden Ring. It's in the Lord of the Rings games. It's in Grand Theft Auto 5. This open world. And you're just not hearing the hype. Even though there's this open world experience that's coming soon that looks gorgeous. So really the question, I guess, that I have about this game is, would you be willing to look past your Harry Potter bias? Because I think this game looks rad. It's not about Harry Potter. It's about you being a student. You're a student at Hogwarts. And so you're like you get to live your own avatar's version of Harry Potter. I think that sounds freaking cool. And I'm not even the biggest Harry Potter fan. I mean, my wife and I have watched them all the way through. I wouldn't watch them on my own. I did watch the original one in the theater and I really liked it, but I was done after that. Like, I didn't really need to see all of them. I saw all of them because my wife loves them and took me to the last two, which I'm really glad she did, because the last two Harry Potter movies, if you need to watch any of them, those two are great. And I saw those in the theater, and those are fantastic movies. But, you know, I'm not a fanboy of Harry Potter at all. But I feel like this game has huge potential. I mean, you can cast spells and magic, and the battle system looks solid and sharp and snappy, similar to Elden Ring. So really, this game gave me crazy Elden Ring vibes. I know everybody's comparing everything to Elden Ring right now, but I mean, look at it. It has a similar open world kind of darkness, rustic, gothic feel to it. So I really think this game is kind of being overlooked right now. I'm not hearing a buzz. I did a video that got like 12 views, so, we're a small channel, but, oh, by the way, if you guys don't know, this podcast is based off of a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/The Mike Will Experiment. Make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel also, if you haven't already. Crank this up here a little bit for the people listening on the podcast at home.
You'll come to know this eclectic group
on my podcast RSS feed, I mean. Not at home. Everybody might be at home, you might be in the office, you might be at work. I don't know where you're at.
Catch up with the other fifth years at your own speed.
I mean, look at this. This looks great. Oh, you can play Quidditch as like a mini game. Oh, cool.
Opportunities for adventure abound in the area surrounding.
Yeah, I mean, this game just looks...
magical abilities you learn to master through
I think it looks next gen. I think it looks great. I hope that it gets a little bit more buzz. I'm surprised that they continue to make these Harry Potter games when they just don't seem to be performing that well. They never performed that well back in the day either. We didn't sell that many PlayStation 2 Chamber of Secrets or whatever. Like, we sold some, but it wasn't crazy. They probably sold 1 million of them. I don't know, but I feel like Harry Potter games have always sort of been overlooked, and this one is just being kind of drummed in with the rest of them, and I would like to see people give this one a chance. But, let me know in the comments of this video what you think, or if you're on the podcast, let me know in a review. But anyway, that's Hogwarts. I did want to talk about that briefly. There's not too much more to say there, really. There just isn't, they haven't really announced anything else. It was just kind of some trailers. And really, I mean, they're showing gameplay and things, and it just looks really good. So, I did want to show that off, guys. That game looks awesome. Next up, I do want to do a tournament update. It's a tournament update, if I can find it. It's a tournament update. I think it's this one. It's a tournament update. Yeah, so the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Mike Will Experiment Invitational 2022 edition. Yeah, because we're going to do them every year. We are full. We filled a roster of 16 people. We are still accepting, and there will be a link in the description of this podcast a link to join the Discord. And the Discord will be talking about it will give you all the rules that you need. If you're curious about dates, times. I'm not going to go into the woods with that here. I just want you guys to know that I am really thankful to Small Moments, who is someone who really helps the channel and has set this up. It's kind of quieted down now that we have a full roster. Hopefully everybody's practicing. I'll start building the hype back up probably on Monday. I just, I had to create a bunch of other content, so I haven't really been hyping the tournament that much. We got our full 16. We are doing a losers bracket, which we had not announced previously, meaning that the winner of the losers bracket challenges the winner of the winners bracket, if that makes any sense, for one big final grand finale. And then that is who wins the goodies, which you can see in my other video where I do go over that stuff. So just so you guys know, there still is spots to be alternates. You guys can be alternates. You guys can be participant or alternates or spectators. So make sure to go ahead and head over to that Discord link if you're interested in the tournament. Cool prizes. I got, for first place, a cool mug that's your trophy that says the Mike Will Experiment Super Smash Bros. Ultimate SSBU Tournament 2022. It's good stuff, man. So make sure you guys sign up, or gals, or people, or folks. Make sure that you sign up ASAP, okay? if you're interested. So we're going to move on from that topic now. I do have a huge announcement about Mike's Quality Reviews. Now, I wanted to show, first of all, what a Mike's Quality Review looks like. So we're going to pull up my Mike's Quality Review. Okay. So what this is, hold on, let me get up here. I'm going to start this over with some sound. But anyway, so what this is I have a series where I review things. So, and I have other series where I review things that aren't this in-depth. But what a Mike's Quality Review is it's an in-depth review. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do these little intros where I'm sitting in front of the TV each time. I haven't decided if, so I was going to break this down for you and kind of think through this with you guys, how I kind of want to approach the next video. So we're just going to play this together. I'm not going to skip around. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but
they were unique in that each had their
turn this up.
PC game world. Usually, PCs were a bit beyond what consoles could do in this era, but a few made the transition from PC to console. One was called Ultima, the other, a series by competitor to Origin Systems' New World Computing, and the subject of this episode of Mike's Quality Reviews. I'm Mike Will from the Mike Will Experiment, and this is Might and Magic, Gates to Another World for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, so that's my intro. Okay, so the intro's probably going to stay the same, This is the only episode, let me dial this down a little bit. This is the only episode of this that exists as of right now. Now, that doesn't, obviously, I'm about to announce to you what the next one will be. This one is based on a Genesis game, which you will notice right away is not a Nintendo game. But the reason I only do this for games that I have passion about, and I had to make this because there was not enough videos about it, and there still isn't. I am one of the top Google searches, even though this video hasn't gotten like a crazy amount of views or anything. I am still one of the top viewed creators that made a video about this, which is interesting. You wouldn't necessarily think that would be how it would go for a small creator, and that's not why I chose it per se. I didn't choose it just because, it'll get seen. I chose it first because of my passion, and second, I chose the thing. I had a list of games, and I had games in front of me, and I was like, well, I want to pick something that not everybody has done a review of, something that I'm passionate about. So I had a huge list of games, and I found this on a whim on eBay and bought the physical copy. So, the physical copy that I pull out here at the beginning, I bought this physical copy before I even decided to do this video. So it was just like, hey, I'm going to pull this physical copy of this game out. Well, let me make this a little bigger. There we go. There we go. So, okay, we just heard this. But you guys get the idea. I guess the audio is not anyway, so that's good. But the point is, I have the game. I don't actually have the game that I'm doing this time, but that's, again, I don't know if I'm going to do this intro every time where I'm in front of the TV or not. I really haven't decided about that. Now, you'll notice I go into some history here. Yeah, see, I talk a little bit about the history of the game. I show some old of the other Might and Magic games. So the idea is it's not, Mike's Quality Reviews is not just about the game, but it's about the series. So usually when I do a Mike's Quality Review, it needs to be a game that is storied and has a series, so there's a vault of history for me to pull from to make it interesting. Otherwise, it's like if I try to do a Mike's Quality Review on something that, it just came out that doesn't have any previous iterations, it won't work. Oh, and this is another really cool too. I also, and this is why with this video I felt it was necessary to get the physical copy, because the game itself was less interesting. Okay, so the game was interesting, but it was less interesting, than this box and case. I say it in the video, but like this box and the instructions in the case is more interesting than the game still to this day. So like when I saw the box, and I still own this, I would never get rid of it, because just the feeling of holding it, like, is the only feeling you need, because the game itself is kind of so in that modern sense, right? Which is interesting. I love that, I flip through the pages here. It's great. So this is kind of what you can expect from the next game. Now the other thing that I do here, let's see, I go through some history. This is the lore of the game, and then I start showing the game here. So, it just sort of goes through the game, gives you the details that you want to know about the game itself. It's not going to give you, it's not like a completionist video. It's not going to give you how to get every single thing. Well, he doesn't even really do that. He just says that he did it, but, it's like, it's just going to kind of be like, hey, this is what the game's about. This is the critical response to the game. This is the story or the lore of the series and the franchise. And it's sort of just, it like envelops you in the franchise. It's great. I talk about the Lord British that made Ultima Online and Ultima, and then I talk about John Canningham, who made this game. I won't bore you with this, but, and then the other thing is I have, categories. Let's see, where's the magazines? Oh, and then I go into print ads too, which is really cool. So I went into and got the old print ads here. Now I don't know how impactful this will be. Again, each game is different. This is a retro game, so I felt like going back and pulling all this old stuff from Dragon Magazine and stuff was really cool, because it just basically gave you some context to what the fans were feeling at the time when they were watching it. When they were playing it and we were reading the review, you get kind of into the fans' head from that era, from that time. I want a magazine from the 80s that talks about this game. I want, a commercial, a TV commercial from, the 80s that talks about this game. So things like that. With retro games, this is my dream kind of review to do with them. It's very time consuming. I don't know that any of my reviews will be this detailed going forward, because this is just it's what this game needed. Every game doesn't need this. So I do final thoughts, things like that. And then I gave the scores here. And so this will be what you can expect kind of from the next Mike's Quality Review. And I'm here to announce that the next Mike's Quality Review is none other than, drumroll please, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, everybody, is the second episode of Mike's Quality Reviews. So, I'm so excited to bring a little history here. I initially was going to do Pokemon Pearl for the DS. Because of the Diamond and Pearl remakes that were coming out. I was originally going to play that game. The problem is the scope of that game is too large. Much like any RPG doing a quality review, the scope is kind of large. So, and I just couldn't get it done. So what I decided to do was pick a game that has a smaller scope. A game that I might be able to finish in a weekend or 2 weekends. I might even be able to 100% this game in 1 weekend or 2 weekends. And Kirby came to mind perfectly, because that's a game that I can maybe get everything in 2 weeks if I'm really diligent about it, which you just can't do with other genres of other games. It just doesn't work that way. And when you play this game yourself, if you do, you'll see why. But this game is awesome. I wanted to really talk about my first impressions of this game. I've played through the first world. I've dipped into the second world. I will say the second world, I think, is purposefully not that great. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. But I think following that ruined first world with the second world, I think whatever world you would have put after that first world, you'd have been disappointed with. So I think they picked the weakest world to put there. That's just my opinion, because I've seen spoilers of some of the other worlds from Nintendo themselves, of course, and they look better. But anyway, I just wanted to say that that's one of my first impressions, is that World 2 is kind of a filler world, or a, they put the weakest one after the best one, probably, which was that first one that was from the trailer. Anyhow, this game is awesome. I don't know how I feel about the score of this game in the early stage. Most people were giving this game in the 8.5 range. I think that's probably it. But there are moments when I'm playing the game that I think 7, some moments I think 8, some moments I think 9. So I think I will need to 100% this game to really give it the quality score that it deserves. Thankfully, and I'm happy to report, the Treasure Road Treasure Road, I can't talk today, guys, it's been a long week. Treasure Road content, where you actually do, like, they're the bonus games of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. They are wicked fun. They're super easy to just at least clear them, at least what I've played so far. Obviously, games get harder as you progress, but I don't think this one's going to ever be so hard that I won't be able to pass anything. I might get stuck on 1 or 2. I just don't, Star Allies is super easy. I don't see them really shifting gears from Star Allies at all. They just went from 2D to 3D. They don't feel like difficulty-wise they did much to shift it up. They have the wild mode, which is what I'm playing in, but that's just, like an easy versus, or like a norm. I don't even know. It's like normal versus easy. I don't know, man. The easy mode, I haven't even tried. Of course, for the purpose of the quality review, I will do a, like, small comparison playthrough where I probably just run through it real quick on casual, or maybe even run through just a couple of levels on casual, or a couple worlds, maybe at, different points. I don't know how to do that best. Maybe it lets you change the difficulty. I'm hoping that's the case. I haven't looked into it further, but maybe I can just finish the game and go back and change the difficulty and see what the difference is. I don't know, guys. I don't know if it'll let me do that or not. My gut feeling is this game needs a 3rd difficulty level, like what they did with Metroid. Maybe like a master or something difficulty level. That way it's not, the kiddos can, or whoever they're keeping this game easy for, can finish it. And then us adults that have loved Kirby for 30 years can go ahead and have something that's a little bit more of a challenge. And obviously that's always going to be the big criticism on a Kirby game, but Kirby games aren't meant to be hard, but it would be nice. I think it would be nice if they added a special mode for those people that want that challenge. Maybe even a special world that's harder in DLC. So there's some things they can do just off the top, and that's why kind of my score floats between 7 and 9, because I'm not sure yet. Again, I've only played through the first world, and from what I've seen, but I'm not obviously going to give it a score now. What I'm saying is, you can kind of project what you think a game is going to get as soon as you start playing it. Like, some moments I'm like, wow, 9, some moments I'm like 8.5, some moments I'm like 9.5. Some moments I may even be like 10, but it's different at different moments so far. So I need to figure out kind of what the overall vibe will be. The 85 seems like it's probably pretty accurate, though. I mean, just from what I've played so far. Metacritic actually seems to be fairly accurate. People like to hate on it, but honestly, you can pretty much use Metacritic if you want to purchase a game and be happy with it. I wouldn't, say I'm the hugest advocate for Metacritic, but that is that subject, though, on Mike's Quality Reviews. Now, I did want to talk briefly about Mario Party Superstars. Now, we have kind of not heard hide nor hair of this game. Nintendo does this thing. Nintendo does this thing. This is my, if you're watching the video podcast, I am showing, I am showing my Mario Party Superstars Play with Friends coverage, which my subscribers are my friends, so. Yeah, I just turned this down. Okay. So, I really like this game. The problem with this game, and actually the problem with this game, and the problem with the last game that they released, which is Mario Party, Super Mario Party, is they didn't release any DLC. Now, there were data mined additional boards for this game, that have not come to fruition. This game is pretty new, and I think this just not been on their priority list. I'm wondering when they're going to get back to this game, though. We asked the same thing about... The sad thing is we asked the exact same thing about Super Mario Party. When were they going to get back to the DLC? You know what? They made another game. So that may be what happens here, too. I don't know. They seem to think making another game is more profitable. I don't know, man. I feel like they could sell tons of DLC. They could make the DLC for this come with the Nintendo expansion pack, which would be a brilliant idea. Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack now with Animal Crossing, Mario Party Superstars, new Smash Battle Pass, if they could ever do that. Mario Kart track courses, make that Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack soar, and this would totally do it. Either people are going to sign up to get these extra boards, or you're going to make the people that paid hard-earned money, and a $50 at that for a service that was lackluster in the beginning, but they're improving now. So, a lot of these YouTubers and podcasters, were jumping down people's throats about, I don't know. They go off on it, on a game, and then change their mind on it, and then they're happy about it. And I try to stay consistent is what I'm trying to say about a game. And I've been consistent about this series. I do think... Ooh, I have a text message. Oh, nice. My wife is texting me. So, yeah. I really think, people were negative about this game. And that's what I was going to say. Negative about... Sorry, guys, my brain is cooked. Negative about the Nintendo Switch Online service itself. The Online Plus expansion pack. People were jumping all over it. The only thing I ever said was the price sucks. And I still think the price is a little high. But I am so glad that they have gone to this effort to create this value. And I think Super Mario Party and, Mario Party Superstars, and adding DLC to that product and bringing that to the suite of existing Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack content would be a home run. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below. I got to do this all in one take, so I'm slubbing over my words, blah, 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 blah. But I hope you guys are still enjoying it. And thank you for tuning into my beautiful podcast. I do love doing it. Speaking of this, while we have this up, we will talk about streaming plans since we're streaming a video. Small Moments wanted me to tell you guys about my streaming plans. So we do have fans of the live stream. Autistic Gamer, specifically AG, it's my boy there, has been asking a lot about, when are you streaming? And so the answer is when it makes sense. So I'm not quitting streaming, but for example, the next streaming that I do will be for the Smash tournament, and those will be big deals. Those will be a big deal. Those streams, those are going to be a lot of fun. So those streams make sense. They'll probably drive traffic, I hope. And I think they'll create interest. But if nothing else, they'll be really fun. And so I think the streams that you'll see me guys do are things that I think are really fun or things that can maybe get some traffic. We're really close to 1,000 subscribers right now. And I can't take my eyes off of getting us to a partnership, because that really opens up so many doors for me as a creator. I can sell merchandise. I can get a small amount of money into my bank account that can help pay bills. And some other things. So getting to that level is super important to me right now. And the only way I'm going to do that is by doing content that I care about and that you guys care about and that I'm passionate about. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's what we'll continue to be doing going forward as we drive towards 1,000 subs. Now, it doesn't mean, like I said, that I'm stopping live streaming, but, like me and the Small Moments, we're talking about it on Discord, and it's like, I'm showing up for 2 or 3 people. It doesn't make sense sometimes. Not that I don't treasure you guys, but I could be spending that time making this podcast, which is a good way to spend the time. I could be spending this time making Will I Buy or editing Will I Buy, which I did do. I put out 3 episodes of Will I Buy today, finished season 1 because I didn't have to be tied to a live stream schedule. So I just want you guys to understand why I'm not canceling them all, but why I'm recapturing some of that time to do other content. We need this long form type content that's over half an hour. And now we have at least one video a week that's over a half an hour, which is the My Nintendo podcast. So those things need to continue for us to be a success. And that's just the truth on that. But I wanted to kind of talk about streaming and what's going on with that. And I think we're kind of getting to the end of the podcast. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I haven't covered that I wanted to cover. Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like I covered everything. Obviously there's going to be more things to talk about as we get closer to E3. I did talk about my E3 predictions in the last podcast, so something to think about there. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and close out this window, and I am going to play us out. Oops. Where is this one at? Mario Party is what I need. There we go. I'm going to play us out with the music I played us in with because I love that song. So we're going to bust that out right now if it will let me. And we're going to crank this up. Let's go. Oh, it's not playing. Hold on. Why can't I hear it? Hold on. Oh, no. Did it glitch out on me? Oh, man. I think it did glitch out on me. I wonder why it's doing that. Did you glitch out? Let me interact with it. Oh, I think it's because I have it muted. Hold on. I think it's because I have the YouTube muted. I have the YouTube muted, guy. Yeah, that's why. Yes, there we go. Okay. Play us out. This is the Coal Breaks Gourmet Race Kirby Dubstep Remix. On the Mike Will Experiment My Nintendo Podcast. We'll see you next Friday, each Friday night. I hope y'all are having a great day. Play that Kirby in the Forgotten Land, everyone. Awesome. My Nintendo Podcast! It's the My Nintendo! I'll see you guys next week.